Some have interpreted an unyielding stance as the ultimate show of strength, to be fixed, immovable, a great wall of will. At times it does seem impressive to put on such a show of tenacity and conviction. The individual who unceasingly claims to be in the right becomes just that, however, a show, and ultimately a self-mockery. This isn't their intended outcome. It is merely the natural result of an unrelenting air of superiority. Such a position is inherently unreasonable and off-putting. When the spotlight of life reveals their shortcomings, as is inevitable, they vociferously deny any alternative, apparently unfazed by the obvious breach upon an increasingly precarious worldview. Their bedrock nature is prone to earthquakes, however. Such entrenched views and firm fundamentalism require total adherence. The structure of their beliefs can tolerate no sway, as but one definitive revelation of weakness within could cause the entire architecture of belief to catastrophically fail. This is the irony of extremism. That which appeared so solid and substantial is ultimately revealed as hollow and false, a superficial facade. The intrinsic flaw in individuals who do not bend is that they ultimately break. Such is hubris. Inflexibility snaps under real pressure. These are terribly fragile people, though their outer presentation is one of a stony and unshakable pride. Some are fooled by the demeanor they present. Others are not. They are often so deeply invested in preserving an identity of moral righteousness and authority that they simply cannot admit error to others or to themselves. Accurate self-reflection becomes impossible under the constant duress of self-preservation. How intractably they do cling to their notions of right and wrong with such a force that they feel highly threatened by any perceived opposition. Those who feel threatened become defensive, in turn becoming a threat themselves. Their views often turn militant, zealous, tyrannical. At this point, the consequence of such a stance outweighs a mere character flaw. Now comes imposition on others. Their psyche knows something is amiss, however. This is suppressed, squashed to the furthest depths of the subconscious mind. It creates enormous pressures within, seeping to the surface as ambiguous anxieties or a seething anger. Violent eruptions only need the mildest catalyst of disagreement. There is a subterranean burden, an albatross evident in the personality. We might not be able to articulate just what it is, but we can feel it. Sadly, this is no rare condition, though there is a spectrum. The description given demonstrates a severe rigidity. You will, of course, be able to identify some awfully rigid people who fit this bill, whether from your past or in your present. Psychologically speaking, this is a tough malady to correct. These are people who lack the self-awareness on a conscious level to know there is even a problem. Nevertheless, the trials of life eventually show them glimpses. At first a trickle, eventually a barrage. Only when bombardments of truth rain down upon them with great force will they finally become disillusioned enough with their errors to make some personal progress. Then, and only then, might a phoenix of understanding rise from the ashes of previously unrelenting stubbornness.